Hold up. Wait until it says. Okay, now we're good. Now it's
Okay,
recording.
so how did you get into anime? What inspired you to start watching that weeb shit?
Well, it all started when I was in third grade. Well, yeah, I was in third grade, and
Third grade? Okay, okay.
well, actually, that was like the first instance where I got into it. Well, actually,
No,
it
you
was
have to
going
say
even
like
further than that. Boku no
yeah,
Pico.
when you actually got into it and like started watching it and then kept watching it. Not just like your first experience with it, but like when you actually got into it.
Well, I wanna talk about the like my instances, like my little dip-ins in the.
Okay, okay, that's fair.
So let's talk about Boku no Pico. So, a friend of mine when I was in second grade, I think, some dude told me like, "Yo,
In
you should."
second grade, in
It
elementary
was
school, you came
yes,
across Boku no Pico. What the fuck
yes.
kind of friends did you have?
I don't know. Well, I had
No, the real
uh,
question is how the fuck did he stumble across
dude,
it?
I don't know, but I don't. He just stumbled across it somehow. But the whole point is, he told me to watch it, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" But I didn't question him, so I just decided to watch it on my own on my Kindle Fire
Oh.
HD.
You
And
said that last time.
oh, I did.
Kindle Fire HD. Anyways, go on.
Oh well, I was watching it. Oh, fuck. Oops, my bad. But while I searched it up, and my god, did I love anime from that point
Shut up.
on.
That's
No,
not
I'm
how it
kidding.
started.
But dude, I was watching it, and like, I was like, okay, this is just like some anime type thing. And then when it was like when I started getting into it, when they were in the car, while that
Wait,
dude
what do you
and
mean getting into it? You were actually enjoying it?
no, no, when I was like getting further
Oh.
into the video that I was watching, and once they got into the car and they were licking the ice cream, and when I I forgot how it went, but I think they were licking ice cream, and then it shows like the quote unquote girl having a boner, I think, and then I was like, "Yo, like
This shit fire.
whoa!" I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And I was watching, and like I decided to just like quit right there and then. I'm not watching anything, and that was my uh impression of anime, or well, the anime art style type thing.
Dude, like if you think about it, like that's kind of like I say dangerous, but it's not fucking dangerous. But like you could have like become like gay or something. You know what I mean? Because you were so young, and like, what if you actually enjoyed watching that, and then your whole sexuality like changes? Maybe that's how people like become. Oh, I don't know, but maybe that's how like
Actually,
people
I don't. I think you're actually born with it though. Like you're
really.
born. Yeah, from like it has to be. Like I swear that like
Because isn't it like instinct for like genders to like be attracted to the opposite ones? Well, who are we to say actually? Because we don't know like what
I mean,
actually.
I personally don't know about that. Like
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
neither
if
do I.
you're dude, I mean, like if you like men, so be it. As long as you're not hurting anybody.
Yeah,
But
exactly. I was just like questioning, like
like actually,
maybe
I
that's
don't
how they
know,
get.
but
Like who knows?
we'll
Maybe
get into it.
watching Boku no Pico could have turned you gay or something. But anyways, that's beside the point.
Maybe I'm already gay. Maybe no. But shit. What was I saying? Oh yeah, about Boku no Pico. I was watching
Mhm.
that, and then yeah, I just decided to stop watching that. And then in third grade, the next year, a friend of mine named. Oh, actually, I'm not gonna say his name, but let's just call him
Marcus,
Randy.
Randy.
Uh, so my boy Randy, he asked me if I've ever seen this anime called Naruto. I'm gonna have to change studios real quick. Hold up. So my boy Randy, he was he gave me this like he gave me the or he told me if I knew about this anime called Naruto. And I did hear about it on Cartoon Network, and I did see it, but I didn't find it interesting. And because of the Boku no Pico thing, I was kind of hesitant
Mhm.
to watch that because I thought kind of anime was like just like that.
Yeah.
And so he told me if I wanted to watch it, and I'm like maybe. And then he gave me the manga. He had a whole ass dude. This dude was a weeb, but he was an OG.
Damn.
And he gave me the whole ass manga to it. And I'm like, yo, this is so cool.
Just like the first volume?
No, it was like of Naruto Shippuden though.
Oh, so that's not even the first.
No, and
Okay.
he he gave it to me, and I was reading in it, or I was trying to read it, and I'm like, yo, this doesn't make any sense. And he's like, yo, you have to read it the opposite way. And then I'm like, dude, mind blown. After I finished reading the manga that he gave me, I decided to just try watching the anime. I went on YouTube and I just watched some of the episodes on there, and they were really poor quality, and it was in English dub only, so I was just watching that, and I
The struggles.
the struggles, man, the struggles, and I kept on watching it, and I thought it was pretty good until the I was about to say person, but the person who uploaded the episodes on the channel, he just decided to stop, or I think they blocked the other episodes on his channel, but there was no more episodes. So I just stopped watching it from there on until eighth grade.
Boom, boom.
Boom, 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 boom. This is like now. This is where we start act. This is where I actually start becoming a fucking weeb.
Weeaboo.
Uh, so a friend of mine, I was sitting in lunch, and a friend we were talking about some shows, and then he asked me if I knew about this one show called Naruto. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. A friend of mine told me about that in third grade. And he said that I should watch it because it's really good. And then so I decided to uh take it or what's it called? Give it a second chance. Because I never really got it. Watched it after that. So I pirated it on a website. I
Whoa, whoa,
forgot
whoa!
what it
You
was
you
called.
can't say that.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
I watched it legally with parental supervision. But I was I was watching it, and I was like getting real into it. And
Dick out
then
and
I figured
everything.
out it was on Netflix. And I'm like, "Oh!" So I I had like Thanksgiving break, I remember, and the entire 2 weeks I just spent it all watching Naruto. Like I day in and day like I would go okay, so I would be sleeping. So the first day of when I figured out that Naruto was on Netflix, the next day I went into the morning. I sat down on the couch. I had my blanket, and the TV was like in the living room. I turned it on, went onto Netflix, and I just binged a bunch of episodes. And I just stayed there until like I couldn't physically watch anymore. And then I would go on my phone, then like sleep in that same couch, wake up, and then watch Naruto.
Rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat.
True ninja.
Nothing, nothing but Naruto fillers and everything. And I
Wait,
just kept
so like Netflix had like the whole like first like of
no, like
Naruto, not
not the whole first. And I was watching it, and then I reached a point where there was no more episodes on Netflix of Naruto, and I'm like, shit, I have to go back to the shady website again. So I went back on it, and I finished Naruto, and then that's when I figured out this app called Showbox, where it
oh
had
yeah.
it basically like pirated movies and TV shows, and I I had the bright idea to watch it on there. So I started watching fucking I finished Naruto and then I started watching Naruto Shippuden. But I only watched the dub at this point, but I never got yeah, like so I only watched the dub and I reached the point where there was just no more dub. And I didn't feel like watching it in subtitles because I felt too lazy to read it.
Hmm.
So I just decided to like drop that, drop Naruto for a bit, and wait until the more dub episodes came, and then I can return and watch it again. Newsflash, I never came back to it, sadly.
Fun
But
fact.
yeah, like I had to get back into that though. Like maybe this summer, maybe I don't know, but uh then I was like in the need for anime. It was just so good. Naruto was so damn good, and I was thinking to myself, what do I need to watch? Like I need something to fill the void in my heart. So I asked a couple. I asked the same dude who showed me Naruto, and I asked him, "Yo, do you have any
Dude,
anime
that sounds
recommendation?"
like a fucking like a drug addict. You go back to him. Are you gonna have any more? So you're like fucking scratching your arms and shaking. You're like, bro, you have any more of that shit?
Yeah, like I was just like begging him, and he like my hair's all
Please.
like ripped out and shit. So I asked him if he knew any more anime, and and he said, "Nah, I only watch Naruto." And then I'm like, "Oh fuck you, like you bitch." So I asked him if he knew anybody who watches anime, they can recommend me some. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, I know this one dude who watches anime. Maybe I can ask him." He asks the dude, and then he tells me, and then he says that he recommends Kill la Kill. And I remember I don't know, but I think it was a Watch Mojo video where I
Uh-huh.
saw that like they were talking about Kill la Kill, and then like it just like all the naked women that were like flying around. Well, not really naked. They're like in you can see kind of the boobs, but I was like, nah, that's not the shit for me because I thought it was too girly.
Coming from the guy who watched My Little Pony.
Yeah, coming from the guy who watched My Little Pony, I don't know. And I wanted something more action packed. Or I did watch a few episodes of Kill la Kill. I mean, it wasn't for me, but it definitely was. It definitely did have action packed. But I don't know, it just wasn't for me. But so I kept on asking for him. I'm like, yo, and he recommended me Kill la Kill, and I'm like, hell nah, this dude has no taste. So I that's what I thought at the time. Like, no offense to any of you Kill la Kill uh
Fans. Wait, so you
fans out
asked the
there.
guy and then he also said kill a kill? Another guy?
No,
Or is it still the same guy?
it was the same guy. Like
Or...
he so just to like make this sense to you, it I asked the same guy who told me about Naruto.
Mhm.
He didn't know any more anime because he only watched
Yeah,
Naruto.
and then he told you another friend that did watch it, and that other guy told you kill a kill.
Yes. So, and I just decided not to watch it, and I looked up anime that was related to or that was kind of like
Similar
Naruto,
to Naruto, yeah.
and then I watched. Should I say it? No? Should I say it? Fuck it. Boku no Hero Academia.
Oh, okay. Why were you hesitant? It's just an anime.
And I I was thinking about whether saying My Hero Academia or Boku no Hero Academia.
Oh, that's what you were debating. You didn't want to come off as a fucking a weeb or a mega weeb.
But I started watching that, and I was like, "Yo, this shit is dope." And then I reached a point again where there was just no more episodes, and just to fill in the void, I decided to watch more episodes, some more anime. I got into more anime, and once I found Made in Abyss, that was the first ever sub anime, and then that's when I started getting into the sub, and then I started watching more and more.
And
Now I'm
then
a
that
big ass
and,
fat weeb.
and that's how you came to be your origin story.
my origin story, my anime origin story. All right, now that I'm finished about with my anime story, what about your, or not anime story, origin story? What about yours?
So okay, so my first experience with like anime has to be in elementary school. I think it was fifth grade. For some reason, I don't know how, like it was also Naruto, but nobody watched it. Like everybody around me, like I don't think anybody knew about anime. So I just remember this one time, like I won this is like the first time I ever won like a fucking raffle.
Yawn. No, I'm kidding.
It was at school. It was for the book fair. Like you had to like put your name in this raffle, and one day on the announcements, I got called, and I'm like, oh shit, I actually fucking won something. And then it was like a you could like you had like a amount of money that you could spend at the book fair, and I'm pretty sure yeah, there was like this poster. It was like a Naruto poster, and I'm like, this shit looks dope. And I remember getting it, and then I put that shit on my wall, and I'm like, yeah, fucking Naruto. Even though I had no idea what it was, it just looked cool. And then ever since then, like for a while, I kind of like whenever I saw Naruto, I'm like, yeah, Naruto. I didn't know what the fuck Naruto was. I think I didn't know what anime was back then. I just knew it was like a character, and like I remember like I got like a DS game about it, and then yeah, that's pretty much like how my first experience with it was. Like I didn't know what anime was. But my actual when I started watching it, it was it was when I forget. I think it was ninth grade. Ninth grade. I was like bored one day, and the thing with me is like I always like I'd always it was just weird. Like I don't know if this is with you too. Like, well, I guess it is because you have told me, but I've just like always watched cartoons like when cartoons are on. Even up to like ninth grade. I guess that's normal, right? I'm pretty sure that's normal. Like watching like
Dude,
cartoons and shit.
cartoons are the shit, bro. I don't
And
care what anybody says.
I was that kid who just like watched Cartoon Network and stuff. I didn't watch like I thought it was like I remember like this one kid. This is kind of off topic, but I remember this one kid. This was in eighth grade. He was like, "Yo, dude, do you watch the Amazing World of Gumball? Like that's so funny." And like I thought like I kind of like I said like in the pilot episode, I remember like I kind of explained like how it was as a kid. I was kind of like I always wanted to act cool and shit. And like I remember when he asked me that, I'm like I started laughing because like even though I fucking watched the Amazing World of Gumball, like, I actually watched. I'm like, "Ha, you watched the Amazing World of Gumball?" I kind of just like I was laughing at him like mocking him, I guess, because it's like a kids show. And, like I always thought that like kids might like older they were supposed to watch like The Simpsons and like Family Guy and South Park and shit. I kind of
Family
like
Guy.
had like that. I thought that was like the like as a kid I thought that was like what you're supposed to watch when you get older. But yeah, I kind of like mocked him, even though like I fucking watched the Amazing World of Gumball and I thought it was epic too.
Dude, you were that. Dude, you were that
Yes,
dude.
yes, I was. And then like, and that yeah, that's just a moment I remember. And like, I would just watch them when they came on TV. And like, I remember my older brother, like he would watch like this show called like Supernatural, and I think like it would come on like I think the CW, I forget what network, but he would watch it, and I always thought like oh, like I've never actually watched like a show from the beginning, like watched every single episode like a series. I've always wanted to, like I've always wanted to start something from the beginning, and like cartoons, like you can't really do that with them because there's so much episodes, and well some cartoons are like short, but some are like super long, like SpongeBob. And you would just watch them when they came on, but I always wanted to like watch something from the beginning. So, and I remember this was like oh thank God for fucking Toonami and Adult Swim because that's what got me into anime. This was in I told you this, but I was in like my brother's room. My parents were watching in the living room. I was in my I think it was my room or my brother's room at the time. But I was in there like my fucking parents made tamales. I got my fucking tamales, took into my room, and I was watching TV. And then on Adult Swim, they announced that they were gonna start this series called Parasite on Toonami. And I'm like, I've always wanted to watch something from the beginning and I never have. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just watch this. I'll start watching it from the beginning, like right now. And then it came on, and that first episode was I don't know what it was. Like, I actually don't know like what exactly in the show it was, but I'm like, I think it was the idea that I wanted to start something from the beginning, keep watching it. So it didn't really matter if the first episode was good or not. But and then every single because like Toonami airs on Saturday nights. I don't know if they still do. Maybe they do on Cartoon Network. And then yeah, so every Saturday night I would stay up and I would watch it like consecutively because I didn't want to drop it. I wanted to start something and then finish it. And then it got to a point where like we just stopped getting cable because it was too expensive. And I'm like, fuck, how am I gonna watch Parasite? And then like I figured out like this app called Crunchyroll, but you need to watch ads. So I downloaded Crunchyroll, and then I started watching it. And then like I remember, okay, so I haven't told you this part. This is kind of stupid. This is kind of fucked up on my part, but I don't think we had a Wi-Fi at my house. So like well, no, it's not like I was using you. Like I would actually genuinely want to go to your house sometimes to hang out, and like I would go to your house sometimes, and I would go in like one of your rooms by myself and just fucking watch Parasite. I think you and my brother were like playing or something. Like
No
that's not
fucking way.
like I would like I remember like you had a yeah you were hanging out with my brother and like because we didn't have Wi-Fi at my house. I'm like, how am I gonna watch this? So I remember like I think it was like your brother's room at the time. Like nobody was in it, and like I would go in there and like turn off the lights and just lay on the floor and watch Parasite.
You fucking weeb.
Like I
You
did like it's not
you
that I was like
you
I
played me
wasn't
like
like
a fiddle.
no I wasn't using you because I remember like that's not what I would do all the time. It's just like
No,
something like
I'm playing, bro.
no I know that but like I'm trying to genuinely think if I did try like but I don't think I did. Like I would actually like go to your house and then like hang out for a while. Like whenever I felt like it or like I got bored, I would just go in like one of your room or like your brother's room. I don't know whose room it was, but I'd go in there and like fucking like watch it because like Crunchyroll obviously like your phone needs Wi-Fi to access it, so I would watch it. And then it got to the point like like every time I would go to your house, I would do the same thing to the point where like I actually finished Parasite, and I'm like, damn, that shit was fucking fire. I don't know if it was if I watched it all like at your house. Like I don't know if I think I did finish it at your house. And then I finished it. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. And then after Parasite, okay, so now we're getting into kind of some new shit. So after Parasite, I don't know why I had this mentality, but after I watched Parasite, I was like, okay, that's done. That's my first series I ever watched from the beginning to end. I kind of want it to be my only series. I don't know why. Like, I guess I wanted it to be special in a way. So what I did was I just didn't watch any other, even though I knew anime was good because that showed me it was. I wasn't gonna like. I just decided not to want to watch. I didn't want to watch any other anime, and then I just went like a whole ass time. I went like a kind of like a. It's kind of like a period where I just didn't watch it because I wanted, like I said, I wanted it to be special for me. And dude, like I don't know, like Parasite is kind of like depressing. Like after I watched it, like that period where I was watching anime, I was kind of like I wasn't depressed, like because I've never been depressed. I don't know how it feels like, but I was kind of like moody. It was like and like I think the time it was like during winter time too, and like
You're
the
going through your emo phase.
yeah like it was like a short little emo phase, and like the series kind of like left its mark on me. I'm like, damn, the fucking soundtrack was dope, the plot was dope, and then after a while, I'm like, you know what? This is stupid. It was stupid for me to just think that Parasite would be my only anime. So in the same situation, I had Showbox on my fucking phone, and then I was just like, oh, I should look for this one because like, oh, then there was a lie in a way. My first experience with anime, even though I didn't know it yet, I thought about it like super later. Was like my older brother, like he would have watched this like when we were like long like a while ago, there was this show called not show. There's this program called like For Kids. I think it's a channel, and yeah, For Kids, and they would like play some anime on it. And I remember I know it now. It's One Piece, like, and it's infamous in like the One Piece community, I guess. That like the 4 Kids dub is like really fucking bad because like they censored a bunch of shit for 4 Kids. And I remember that's what my older brother would watch. He would watch the One Piece, obviously like the super censored version.
Bro,
And
he
like I
was a
just
dweeb.
and like well he wasn't really a weeb, like he wasn't a weeb at all. He would
Not a
just watch it.
dweeb.
Oh, a dweeb. And I just remember like one of the intros playing, and like like all my life I've always had that kind of in the back of my head. I'm like, what was that show? And then I found out about One Piece. I'm like, and I saw an intro like it looked similar. I'm like, this is the fucking show that he watched. So I went to Showbox, and like that's how I kind of like figured it out. I'm like, oh, it's One Piece, and One Piece was on Showbox. So I'm like, and like I was debating, do I want to start watching it with One Piece or Dragon Ball? And like I watched one episode of each. I watched Dragon Ball. I watched the first episode of that. I watched a couple episodes, like 3 episodes max, and then One Piece. And then I'm like, well, I kind of have like a nostalgia feeling for One Piece, even though I didn't watch it myself. I just saw it playing, and I'm like, I went with One Piece, and I didn't know it was gonna be. I think I did. Maybe I knew that it was gonna be long, well, like I knew. Okay, so I knew one Dragon Ball and One Piece were both long, and I knew like Naruto were long. I knew they were long series. So what I thought in my head was like, I'm gonna like pick a long series, and just stick with that one. So good thing that I went with fucking One Piece because I didn't want to be one of those like, yeah, nothing against Dragon Ball fans. I just didn't want to like. I guess a good thing I didn't turn out to be like just watching Dragon Ball and that's it. But I went with One Piece, and then like I fucking just like you, I stayed in my room and I binged day in and day out, even at night, which I don't do anymore. I don't watch anime at night because I feel like I would be too tired and not pay attention. But with One Piece, since that was my second anime ever, I watched that shit all fucking day. And then like same situation. I don't, maybe like other people also relate to us, but I caught up so much, like episode 500 something, like because I would only watch it in dub. Oh yeah, fuck! I forgot to say this too. And when I watched Parasite, it was dubbed on Toonami, but on Crunchyroll they only have sub. So when I stopped watching it on cable, I had to continue it in sub. So I watched it on Crunchyroll at your house in sub. I kind of had to get used to it. And then with One Piece, I caught up to like 500 something, and then the dub was over, and then I'm like, I kind of waited. Like I waited to see if the dub would like. I looked up, oh, why is there no more dub? And I'm like, it's been apparently it takes a long ass time for them. So then I'm like, fuck it. I just went back to it after a couple months, I think, and I'm like, I started watching it in sub where I left off, and then yeah, and then I got caught up, and my that's like my origin story. And then after One Piece, I forgot what happened. I forgot what I watched after One Piece, but that's kind of like where I started like watching anime. So that was my anime origin story. Now I'm gonna get into what I thought of weebs or what I thought of people who watched anime, which is hypocritical of me now. So, but like the general idea I had of like anime was kind of like hentai. Like I don't know why I correlated anime with like hentai and tentacles, and I just thought like I guess because it was so memed in school and stuff that watching anime is kind of like for losers. That I kind of like, and like I said, I wanted to be like the cool. Like I wanted to act cool, so I kind of had that like um, bandwagon mentality. So I'm like, oh yeah, let's just dislike people for watching anime. So like the idea I've had of like fucking like people watch anime, they had like colored hair, they acted weird, they were like the band kids, and that's how like I kind of like I didn't like actually like to their face. It's just in my mind. It was like in the back of my head. I'm like, oh, like you watch anime, you're like this. So and like I remember even after I got into anime, I didn't like. I kind of. It's funny because you kind of still have that mentality. You're like, I saw this meme where it's like weebs shitting on other weebs for watching anime, but like, because I still had that mentality in a way that like I watched it and I kind of like acted like I didn't watch it, but I didn't like. It was like that the idea wasn't there anymore. That like, oh, these weeb they're weird for watching it because obviously since I started watching it, like I can't say anything. But in a way, it's like you kind of don't want to admit that you watch it because you still kind of keep it secret, if you know what I mean. Like that's how I thought of it. Like yeah, like before watching anime. And I remember this one kid, like there's this one kid in my class. He kind of like he kind of like gave me shit for something. And then me and my other friend, I had another friend in the class. Okay, me and a friend were talking about that one kid who was giving me shit kind of. And I remember because like he sat in front of me, and I remember he was watching like I knew it was anime even though I think I did watch anime. I think I did watch anime by that time. So yeah, never completely disregard the last story, because like, okay, so this kid was sitting in front of me. The kid who gave me shit. I could tell by his screen that he was watching anime. Like I think he was watching an anime intro. He had headphones on, and then like since he was kind of giving me shit, like me and my friend were kind of talking about him. Yeah, so he was. So sorry.
Oh,
So he, so he was, yeah, I could tell. And then my friend, I was like to my friend, I'm like, dude, I was like, I saw him watching like fucking anime, and then my friend was like, no way, like, because like, I guess so, like the sheep mentality is that like the people who watch anime are like losers. So like, I was kind of like, I gave him like when we were talking behind his back, we were like giving him shit because he gave me shit. So I'm like, well, yeah, at least I'm like, I didn't say this, but like in my mind, I was like, well, at least I don't watch anime. Because like I told my friend, I'm like, dude, he was like watching anime. He's like, bro. So kind of like like to disprove his like the way he's hating on me. Like I think I watched anime even before I said that. So I guess in a way I was giving weeb shit when I was a weeb. So like, do you have what was your mentality of people who watch anime? Was it also kind of like negative or like you
it
just
it
didn't know what
was
to do?
it was kind of negative in a way. Like uh, when I thought of anime before, well, I just genuinely thought it was just hentai shit.
Yeah,
Cause my first introduction was basically Boku no Pico,
yeah.
and I thought every anime was like that.
Hmm.
And until my boy Randy told me, uh,
So you didn't have
what
like the same mentality as me as like, oh, they're like losers.
I did at one point,
Oh,
like
okay.
when I was in like middle school, I did think of like I thought, or well, most kids on my school were like people who would watch anime were like they were for like losers and shit.
Um, like
Oh
they're not so popular kids, so you kind of like
yeah,
correlate it. Yeah,
and then like that you're supposed to, yeah, like kind of like what you did. Like they're supposed to be watching some like reality TV shows and shit.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
What kids are, or like what
Grown ups watch or something, or like
my
teenagers.
friends and peers or my classmates were into at the time.
Hmm.
And yeah, I just didn't want to watch it until a friend told me about Naruto again, and I'm
Hmm.
like, oh wait, this dude, this dude watches anime, and like that friend that I knew, like he was a pretty dope person. So I was like, I mean, if he
Oh yeah.
likes it, like maybe I should just give it a shot. So I started, and yeah, that's how it kind of started and
Oh,
shit.
okay. So you never really gave anyone like shit for it.
Oh no, actually
You kind of just thought of it like.
no. Like, well, yeah, I didn't really give shit to anybody.
Mhm.
Like, uh, I never really told anybody like what you did, where like said it to someone's back. But I did think of it sometimes. I had this one kid in my school bus that I would sit next to. Let's call
Mhm.
this dude Bartholomew.
Okay.
Bartholomew, he would be watching One Piece the entire time on his tablet, and he would be watching sub shit. And then I'm like, oh, that's pretty weird that he's just watching like
Yeah.
he's watching anime the entire time on the bus. Can he like? I was thinking, what's so good about it when he's like watching like episodes day in and day out in the bus? And
Mhm.
I finally got my ass into it, so I totally understand now.
Yeah, and like what's weird is that like I still see people like to this day like like people like giving shit to people who watch anime like don't like it's kind of it's weird because I was that exact same person. Like I gave people like I kind of thought it was shit, but like literally all you need to do is watch Death Note on Netflix, and your mind will be fucking changed. Like Death Note on Netflix, it will like whatever you thought about anime. Like if you watch that show, it's like all your expectations are not gonna be there. Like I guess there's like the the P word. I guess a lot of people correlate with anime with people like that. But like you can watch anime with none of that, like none of like lollies as they say. Like you can watch it like Death Note. There's like animes out there that don't have any like little girls in them, so there's not really like a good like argument for saying that all people who watch anime are like the p word. I don't want to say it just in case, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, like if they like yeah, I feel like people who give anime shit are the same people who like never watched a single episode. Well, like yeah, it's hypocritical for me because like I did that same thing, so I'm not innocent. But I guess they just have to give it a chance, like because if you just see okay, so if you correlate anime with like little lollies and stuff, then like if you like say if you watch Death Note, that's gonna be completely like out of the question. Like it has none of that. It has nothing what you expect. So I'm just thinking that like because I was one of them. I think people give shit like just never watched actually like a good show, like or like not a good show, like a good like I just haven't even watched anime in general because I don't think a person who gets into anime like comes out like shitting on it. You know what I mean? I think it's like genuinely that good.
Yeah, with in my school it's kind of the opposite though. People are kind of more into anime. There are some people who are kind of open to it.
Because
That
like I see it a lot in I wasn't referring to like in real life. I was referring to like online, like on Instagram and stuff sometimes.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I know what
that's
you mean now.
yeah. I was referring to that stuff. Like I think they just hate it because it's like the thing to hate because it's not mainstream. Like it's not mainstream yet. But
I think it's hella mainstream now though.
nah,
Well,
dude,
that's my
it's not.
personal opinion.
Huh?
That's my opinion on it though.
Yeah, we already discussed this though. Mainstream is like everybody like it's like TV. Like it comes on TV. Like no, Toonami is like only a program on a certain night. If it were mainstream, it would be like have its own channel and stuff like that. You would see it a lot more often.
Oh,
It's not something that
true.
everybody knows.
Oh, like you
That's
know
what
it's
makes it
mainstream when
mainstream.
it's like on a talk show host.
Yeah, like something like that, I guess.
Well, I guess you are right in that sense.
Okay, so now we can talk about how we figured out that the other person figured out anime. So this was like in we went to the theater. We were with my brother and then like another friend. We were gonna watch Endgame, right? So we got our tickets, and we there was obviously Endgame. You know, it just came out. We had to wait in this long ass fucking line, and you know, just me casually just standing there, had to check my phone. This motherfucker was stalking me, looking at my fucking phone, looking
No, cause
all up in
okay,
my
okay,
fucking
okay.
business.
Let's get this straight. Let's get this straight. Okay,
I was just
so
chilling, bro.
so I was in line, right? And then like I see you looking at your phone, and then like I just
All
take
up in my business.
no, wait, hold up. You were gonna show me something, and then
Oh, I was.
yes, and then you double tapped and you were looking through your tabs, and then like I saw Crunchyroll on one of that, and I knew that was like
Yeah,
uh
anime thing.
an anime thing because I watched anime at the time, and then I'm like, yo, you watch anime? And
Okay, so now I go. So yeah, okay, so I was gonna show him something, and then like I will, I was on an Android, so I was looking through like I was gonna clear, not clear, but I was looking to like what is it called when like you I guess your history on your phone or like the opened apps you have, and like it showed a Crunchyroll because I was watching a show, but I paused it because they were like, hey, you want to watch a movie? So I paused the show and like kept the tab open, I guess, because I was gonna come to it later. Because they told me they want to watch a movie, so I was like, okay, I'll go. So I saved that for later, and then I was gonna show something. I'm like, and then it just showed the Crunchyroll. I'm like, fuck, please. I was like hoping you didn't see that. I was like, I was sweating. I was all sweating. My forehead was all wet, and then like, I'm like, fuck. Well, I wasn't. I don't think. No, I wasn't that.
I
I was
was
just kind
pretty
of.
damn nosy though, but
No. It's not like. That was just a bit. Like I wasn't actually like nervous. I kind of just like, oh, it showed Crunchyroll because I figured like, oh, maybe like he doesn't know what it is. Like, he doesn't know anime is. It's not a big deal. But I guess he did end up like knowing. And then you asked me, and then you're like, you watch anime? I'm like, I remember I said no. I'm like, no. I
no,
like,
I do
do
remember that you said
you remember me
no, and
saying
I'm
no?
like,
Okay, yeah,
And
I said no because I'm like, fuck, he did know what it was. So I said no because being a weeb, you don't want to be labeled as a weeb. So like, oh no, and I'm like, and then I think I said like, yeah, well, obviously, because then I said yeah, and then like, did you see? I think I asked you if you saw the Crunchyroll thing,
yeah, you said that.
and then like, and then where did it go from there? Like, and then
Like
we,
I said, I'm like,
oh yeah, we started,
yo, have you ever watched Promise Neverland?
yeah, and then we were talking about like if we've ever seen this and that, and then we just fucking like connected. We're like, we were like, yeah, we saw Promised Neverland, and then like we
Cause
just kept
at the
talking.
time I was watching Promise Neverland,
Uh-huh.
and they were like, it was an ongoing series at the time,
Hmm.
and it like I was
No, I think it
watching it
already
on Verve.
finished because I think I already watched all of it, or
Oh
maybe it was
wait, no,
ongoing,
that's right.
or maybe it was ongoing. Maybe I'm not so. I
Oh
think
no, it was on. Like we
yeah, it was
finished
ongoing. I
because
think it was ongoing. Oh yeah,
no.
and okay, so yeah, we just I just remember we were in line and like we kept talking, and then like it didn't feel like a long line anymore because like there was so much to talk about.
Oh
And I
yeah,
and I remember like once we got into the theater, we were still talking. Like
we
we
were
got our
still
we were
talking.
in our seats, and like it was Endgame. And not gonna lie, like I'm like, man, fuck this movie. Like I wanted to
Oh,
keep
dude,
talking. Like
same.
I wanted to keep talking, but like it's Endgame, so I'm like, ah, I guess. So like I remember like, so yeah, like and then like we watched Endgame. And, like I wanted to keep talking about anime though, and then like since that day, like we've been like kind of like talking like most of the time, and that's how
Just
we like
about
connected to
anime.
anime. And so
Oh,
we knew one the other person liked it as much as we did. So I'm like, fucking like I
I
think you're my first, definitely like, well, no, not my first, but like you're like the one I've connected with the most, the one who actually like watches like anime.
dude, and I remember like I even asked you if you ever read this. What was it?
It was like
Is it
Metamorphosis.
Dojin? This Doge Metamorphosis. Like I
We
asked
trying
you.
to act like you didn't fucking know what it was.
No, I
Did you should
dude, I completely forgot what it was. Or I forgot the no, I forgot what the genre type is. It was a hentai or dojin.
I think they're the same. That I was thinking that's weird. I was thinking about that yesterday because I was thinking of topics to talk about, and then for some reason hentai came up. Like hentai, like I don't know if hentai is actual like animation, and dojins are like the. I think they're the same. I think
It's
they're
basically like a manga and an anime type deal, you know?
yeah, like it's like a hentai manga, I guess.
Like
But
yeah,
anyways, like yeah, I remember yeah, you fucking asked me like, yo, did you? I guess it affected you that much that you mentioned it on the
I
first
had to
day
tell
we
you
talked about
because
it. And then I'm like, oh no, but I think I've heard of it before. Like I remember, yeah, I've heard of it before. Like I remember, like Instagram, they be posting memes. I think I read the comments of Metamorphosis 177013. Everybody knows that. Not everybody, but um, I remember reading the comments, and then like I knew it was like apparently a fucked up like dojin. And then like you told me that, so I'm like, oh, is he talking about the same thing? But I wasn't so sure. And then
I
like
tried explaining it to you, but I was so ass at it.
yeah, I didn't know until actually later, and then I fucking read that shit. That's like a whole nother episode, but of talking about this
Are we not gonna
fucked
talk
up
about it in
shit.
this episode?
I mean, that's like we can do a whole episode talking about like fucked up shit we watched or something, right?
Oh, we could. We could.
Yeah, save it for like another episode, but because
Okay. Yeah, this one already has a whole genre, you know?
yeah, it's just
Wait for
anime
that
and
and then
shit.
in the next episode. But I well, hentai to bring back the hentai shit, like most of the hentai that I've seen, I mean like once like I take a good look at it, it's not really like a full on animation. Like
You
it's
mean like
basically like moving pictures in a way.
yeah, it's not that well done. Well, some are, but some aren't. I guess
Well,
I just don't put as much effort into it.
animation is moving pictures, but when I mean moving pictures,
I mean
I
like fluid,
genuinely mean moving pictures.
like
Like
fluid
it's like a still image, and
cuts. It looks
all you
like cuts or
see,
something.
it's like a zoom in, zoom out mouth, and then well, you don't really need that much fluid animation though in hentai, because all you do is just like that's it. Well, thank you everybody for tuning into our podcast. I mean, it wasn't the best, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you like the new background that we have. Cause the one that we didn't want you to just look at some poorly drawn image. No offense, Jerry. But
None
uh
taken.
but
No, we intentionally made it bad. Like
oh, okay. Well, yeah.
ironic
Well,
humor.
we wanted to give you something to look at. Maybe something that you guys might like. I know it's PUBG Mobile, but I mean, it's
Yeah,
something.
as long as it's like a visual and like something to look at, rather than like you said, just a image.
Yeah, but thank you guys for the comments. We really appreciate it, and see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.